Hey guys, welcome back to Still Not Over It. This week we are still not over Titan, the OceanGate Submersible Disaster. And what happened to it?
Now, you may be thinking this seems like a complete 180 from everything else we've been doing, but we're still not over this. And it's still like we just watched a documentary, so that's like we're still engaging with media.
No, Sam
And
said something so insightful. They were like, or she was like,
she, her pronouns, please. No
I'm so
problem.
sorry. She was like, God, what did you say? She was like, we went from Scream to John Tucker to this. You were like, isn't it crazy how jealousy plus negligence creates tragedy? And I was like, theme. It was just like, yeah. So in a way, this does tie together.
Yeah, there's negligence in all every movie we've watched, there's been extreme negligence. And this the Ocean Gate thing is a truly a study in pure negligence. So
Anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just in case any of you were like, wow, random, totally intentional and not
um but like we watched this and we were like, okay, well, I'm never gonna get over this. I mean, I was never really over it ever since it happened, like that was crazy. And we all watched it. I think there's like and I feel like this is we don't have to
the
get background
countdown.
because like everyone sat and watched this shit. Like
We're all over there.
having a countdown to like people's death is crazy. Like the fact that like CNN, I think, had like that little thing in the corner, like of like it was the stock market, just like a little
I was like,
bar.
sir, who's president? Like, we're gonna have the Hunger Games.
They're
Like,
like
this
they were
is
like
like,
they were like this much time till oxygen runs out. Like
literally.
imagine there's a countdown for your death. Like that's crazy. Like just a reminder, guys, in case you forget, these guys die in 5 hours if we don't find them. And
Literally. And
everyone
it
was
was like,
like,
and also we're
everyone's
not
like,
gonna find them. We're not close. We've no
there's
leads.
there's no hope. We are counting down like this is the Super Bowl for some reason.
So hopefully they're not your loved ones.
Yeah, can you imagine your family's you're looking for your family? And anyways, I guess you got to get into it. The not Peter Stockton, what's his name? Stockton Rush of it.
Stockton Rush. Stockton sounds like a last name. So at first I like Sam and I were like, what should we do this week? And she was like, well, what are you not over? And I was like, dude, do you remember when all those people died?
Fuck, Toby.
That's what I said. So, and then she was like, oh my gosh, like, you know what's on Netflix?
There's the new documentary about the Ocean Gate implosion.
So we watched it. And it was really good, but I had no idea what it was about. And so I feel like I learned so much. Like Sam may have known like more of this information than me.
Not particularly. I mean,
No
I
way.
also I figured out that like I literally thought they went. I don't mean. I'm trying to say this. I'm
A
trying
lot
to
of it's really delicate, but like
I'm trying to say this in the most sensitive way I can. I thought that they literally just like went poof and like disintegrated completely. I just found out today when I was looking at the Wikipedia page that like in fact they did find like a big chunk of it, which I was
okay, a
shocked.
lot of people said that. They were like they probably exploded immediately because all the
Everyone acted like they
pressure.
went literally poof and were gone. There's no debris. Like everything was like I was picturing like complete obliteration, and then apparently they're like in
That
fact they
sounds
did.
kind of nice, right?
And right, but now
Like
I'm looking and there's actual wreckage. I'm like, that could have been someone. Like that is
that could have
scary and
hurt.
sad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
scary and
Well, there
sad.
was like dark, like Twitter, like imagine you're in this tiny space alone with these like straight, and I was like, who's writing this, putting it on Twitter? And then other people were like counteracting it by saying like, no, scientifically, like if they did run out of air, they probably exploded very quickly and poofed. You know what I mean? And so it was like anti.
I just I'm not laughing.
There
I'm
was just
really
a lot.
not laughing.
There was just a lot of media.
I'm not laughing about the tragedy. I do want to take a moment to say that like
We're
this is
not trying to be indelicate.
I
It's
want to say that this is absolutely a tragedy. We're sorry for all the lives lost,
and God
especially the
rest
young,
in peace to all the souls.
yeah, and the young boy, especially, like, especially him.
Yeah, that part's not
Um,
funny. Those
It's
like
not funny, but what
not mom of the year.
the way the world handled it was absolutely insane. Like I feel
Subway
like
should be ashamed of
I feel
themselves.
like I'm just like still
Our subs don't
I'm still not
explode.
over how unseriously the whole world took this. Like not one person had an ounce of genuine
Like
concern.
I no exact people died. No exaggeration, and the whole world was like, ah.
Like everyone was like, "Can you believe that missing submarine? Like isn't that crazy?"
It was like you could literally be like at work firing someone and be like, man, could you believe the
People were
submarine?
talking about it like it was literally the count like a Super Bowl countdown,
Yeah.
like a countdown to the Nick at Night Awards.
People
Like,
probably were betting on it. Like I'm sure there were
oh,
bets.
I'm sure. But
Deeply silly country. Very,
so,
very
anyways, turns
silly.
out there was debris found, like big chunks
Absolutely.
of it. I'm looking at a picture of like half of it right now. But I guess we got to introduce. I feel like the people on board, like they none of them were at fault, so we'll just like briefly go over who died. Um, right?
Yeah, I
It was a
guess.
billionaire businessman, last name Dawood, and his son, Hamish Harding. Um, oh wait, no, Hamish Harding is the British businessman. Dawood is a Pakistani British businessman, and it was his son who died. And then Paul Henry, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Um, who was like a Titanic French Titanic expert, and then of course Stockton Rush, who is the reason why we're talking about this right now because it is all undoubtedly his fault. So from the top, OceanGate
Tippity top.
started as me like just go OceanGate started as a, like I don't
Like the first guy you meet is this like super European. I think he's Scottish.
oh yeah they walk you through I think it was
You meet this like the
you
guy
meet
they
the
let go.
you meet the whistleblowers first and I think that like that was a really I don't like
Interesting
a
way to
really
do it.
interesting way to start it because I really starts with like the people who are like have to carry the guilt of this situation for the rest of their lives. So they open with like the whistleblowers and turns out there's a ton of whistleblowers and that people knew that this was like gonna happen inevitably for years.
Right.
Um
Like 8 years, 10 years. Like I also personally think naming anything something gate, like you're begging for a scandal.
it's
Like,
like didn't we learn from Watergate? Like someone didn't
yeah.
show up to my birthday one year called that birthday gate. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Absolutely. Calendar gate.
yeah, you know?
Absolutely. It's bad. Like it's not like the name for something fresh and innovative. Like
Yeah.
it's like the name for like, yeah,
Also,
something scandalous.
also his mom naming him Stockton Rush. She was naming a cartoon villain, like for
Right. That's
sure.
crazy. Crazy.
If your name's Stockton, that's fine. Cool name. But
Um,
but Stockton Rush sounds like a literally like a Marvel villain.
so I also thought it was very funny before we get into like the fact that like everyone already knew this was gonna happen. When they found it finally, after 4 days in Newfoundland, everyone was like, oh, jurisdiction, like who's gonna sue, who gets to sue who over like immediately
Yeah.
all these forces were like, this is a jurisdiction issue and like who's gonna take lead.
All the maritime lawyers are like
Because maritime law is
they were
very
like, I was born for this moment. Thank you. Like it's been really
absolutely,
maritime law's been real boring since the slave trade, but now
absolutely.
that
They're like, with the
finally
exception of
something
like
they're
drug
like finally
trade,
something exciting. Um
they've been waiting for this moment.
and this is your reminder that maritime law and jurisdiction law all exist because of transatlantic slave trade and not to be woke. And this is not a woke
No,
moment. It's just a little history tidbit. It's okay. It's not woke. I'm just saying the reason why that they cared about jurisdiction in open waters was because of the slave trade and slave ships, and they needed to know whose was whose. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, that's the woke minute of the pot over. Anyway, so
woke minute.
it becomes a question of jurisdiction.
Right. And you see them like talking about it in almost kind of like an unctuous way where it's like who is going to have the opportunity, I guess, to like bring someone down, bring them to justice. And it's like what they don't know yet is that it's like one guy and that he's at the bottom of the ocean and that you've just pulled like bits of,
God.
yeah, pulled what's
That like
left of
the
him out of the
tragedy, like
ocean.
the tragedy of it is
Um,
not just what happened, it is like the fact that it was preventable. And I feel like the worst tragedies in the Greek sense of it all are like the ones that like so many people saw coming and knew exactly how it was going to end, but like due to like a man's ego, these
mhm,
people died
100%.
purely based on one dude's ego, no other
Mhm.
reason. And I think that is like also wild. Anyway,
So
so
it's
they're,
really cool because you have, oh, anyways, go ahead.
yeah, like what you're saying, like the Titan's a symbol, like the US, Britain, Canada. Wasn't it the
Yeah.
Canadian?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The,
Because remember they have that thing with, I don't think it's Ontario. Canada's involved. Remember, there's like a port, and they're like falsely accused of signing off on some kind of shipping or testing location. It's in the paperwork that's like forged. Canada's like name dropped.
oh, Canada. We
Oh,
stand.
Canada.
Shout out Canada. We stand on guard for thee. Am I right? Also, I just feel like, why is my cousin calling me? I'm just gonna go.
Okay, no respect for the pod.
But I will say that like it is crazy to me. Sorry, you can get into the rescue operation of it all because the Teen Titans a symbol and everyone gets together to like try to find this because so that also I feel like causes a slight delay is people being like, wait, whose responsibility is this?
So we find out Stockton, they're all talking about like for the rescue. First of all, everyone is trying to rescue them. They're like, oh my God, every single person in the world, like the Coast Guard, it's first of all, a lot of people they talk about this in they like kind of defend like, so why was it so hard to find this like submarine? They do obviously you guys should just watch the documentary because I'm gonna butcher it, but they're like it's very murky down there.
I know that there's
um
an OceanGate expert listening to this that's probably like wrong, like
Stupid girl.
has been like screaming this whole time like wrong, wrong, wrong. Like
Yeah, it's
sorry,
murky.
so
There's
we
like
never claimed to be
wreckage
oceanographers,
from the
okay?
Titanic. It's already down there. And so it's like, it's easy to get caught. Even in the thing, like Stockton, this is like about halfway through the documentary. Stockton gets into a huge fight with the first whistleblower before he's let go. Because Stockton, during one of the test episodes, he's just kind of grandstanding and wants to, kind of flex his muscles in front of a group of investors. So he opts to pilot the vessel in front of all these people when he's not the pilot. This whistleblower, um they talk about his resume and his record, but he is like a decorated Navy pilot, has been a pilot of all these like various marine vessels and submarines and things like that, like Navy warships and warheads and blah blah blah. Basically, he's able to and experienced with all these different kinds of like marine things. And so he's able to kind of maneuver the submarine out of this really tricky situation that Stockton gets them stuck in the wreckage, just really because of his pride. What these people paid to do was go down and look at the wreckage from like a few feet away. And what Stockton does is get them right up in it and like wedged up under it. And the guy warns him, like, stop, stop. You can't get this close. And Stockton's like, oh, I know what I'm doing. It's my boat. It's my
Also,
submarine.
mind you, like prior to this, people, no one had gone down to the Titanic side in like how long? It'd been like what?
Years. There
Like
was like one
like
other guy who did it out of a different country who like ran his own operation and had been running it. But nobody else had been visiting the Titanic
and
decades.
this really made me think about the Titanic of it all. First of all, the fact that Newfoundland's just like right up there, like I don't know why I
Mm-hmm.
pictured it just being so much further away. It's like quite close to the East Coast. I mean, it is on the East Coast, but like it's
Isn't it?
it's like not that far from here. I mean, relatively. Anyways,
You could
what
visit.
you could visit. Like it wouldn't be a long flight. I
Right.
just also like I don't know why I didn't. First of all, I hadn't really thought about like the Titanic site.
They're like, I should just leave it alone,
I
right?
really did feel like the Titanic site was something people visited regularly. I was wrong about that. I also did not realize how deep down the Titanic had sunk. It didn't compute to me,
I
but
don't
it's
really
way,
get,
way, 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 way down there. Way down
like,
there.
there's
Also,
so many boats that have sunk. Just go visit another sunken boat.
the Titanic of it all. It's like, didn't we learn from the Titanic that like being overly ambitious in water sometimes isn't the best idea? That
It's
like,
just like it's gonna get you again.
and it did.
And it did. Like,
Perhaps those waters are cursed down there. I don't
it's just
know.
like it's making you guys look fucking stupid. Like it really is. It's making you guys look like there was this interview with this woman and I can't recall her exact job title. But she worked closely with Stockton and he used this phrase all the time that he thought Elon Musk was a big swinging dick and he wanted to be a big swinging dick too. And I just really appreciated her interview because I thought her language was so colorful and it taught me so much about who he must have been like to work with. And
Yeah,
I could tell instantly I wouldn't have
that
enjoyed
the
that.
level of ego that like I feel like most people like don't ever come in contact with, like the way that like not only does like being extremely wealthy like morph people's sense of self, but also like
100%.
the ego that like comes with like that sort of success. And then unchecked ego, because I'm not saying like all, obviously not, but like like completely unchecked and like, you know, he needed a sibling to be like, yo,
Hey, loser.
yeah, sometimes you need like
So what?
this guy needed a younger brother bad. I mean, he might have one, but he wasn't doing his job. Like
No, literally.
someone needed to be dissing that dude.
God, do you remember he gets out of his submarine during his test?
Can we
What's the
talk
first
about the
what's the first
PlayStation?
thing he says about like Neil Armstrong or something?
Can we talk about the PlayStation controller of it all? Should we like get into like
The way I knew we were cooked when we saw that.
like when I heard I'll never forget when I heard on the news that a game console controller
The video is so funny,
what he
dude.
used to like control the hope this has been loud enough. Anyways, when I found out that he was using a gaming console controller to control the submarine, I was like, okay, like
A PlayStation
it gets
3
it gets to a
or
point.
2, I was like,
It gets to a point. Come on, bro. Like that is crazy. Like try like imagine someone being like, all right, trust me with your life. And anyways, this is what I used
and
to
they
go
whip
down.
out like the Switch control. Like, be
Like, can
serious.
you imagine someone being like, don't worry, I got you, bro, and they whip out like a Wii controller?
There's like a part in the doc when they're like, they hired all these young people fresh out of university. And it's like these 24-year-olds, they're like, yeah, the idea that someone's going down in a submarine that we did all the math for. And it's like, I've now been 24. That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's crazy. I didn't know fucking shit when I
This was
first
pre
got out of
chat
school.
GPT too. Okay, like these were just
I personally don't support ChatGPT. However, that's crazy. We're on opposite sides, but like I bet.
I don't care about chat GPT. I mean,
But just like
she's coming
she's a
for us all.
resource option. Yes, it's a resource option.
Yeah, she's
It's
coming for
just
us
like
all someday.
I
But
just think
I'm
that
just
like
these were just straight up
you had
interns.
kids. You had kids out of college. Like we're barely older than that. Like if you
Like,
told us, like even with
yeah.
degrees in the right field, like if you told us, like,
If
hey,
you asked me to be responsible,
people's lives are gonna be on the line in your field.
it's like, shouldn't you have a couple PhDs on this
Can
case?
we have some people that are experts as
I feel like we
well?
need like I don't know, naval engineers.
And the kids are in the video. They're so excited. They're like, "This is gonna rock!" Like they don't have any idea at all that someone's gonna die in a couple of months.
Also, just like
It's
from
awesome.
the beginning, like from testing, like in the beginning, he asks people to ignore like from the jump when the sensors go off. He's like, ignore that.
He's like, "Don't." It's kind of like when you have a shitty old car and it says like,
it's like,
"Airbag doesn't work," and you're like,
right.
"Don't worry about that."
You're like, listen, I
And
know
they're like,
all.
"Oh, is it does it work though? And you're like, no, but
You
ignore
know,
that.
your car, I've been there, duct taped door, and you're like, listen, like, it'll get you where
It's
you
my
need.
first car.
It's one thing to take a
Relax.
hoopty car down the block. It's another thing to take a hoopty submersible down under. Anyways, so from the beginning, they're like, he really sets them up for, like, I feel like also what happened is, like, he starts
Success.
from the beginning, he is like, all right, there's going to be red flags every step of this way, and we are going to ignore them. You are going to
100%.
ignore them. You work
And
for
if you
me.
don't, you're fucking fired.
Yeah. There's this new Wes Anderson movie out, and like one of the things is like the main guy like is always in plane crashes, and like there'll be like bombs on the plane, and he'll be like, I'm not worried right now, like I'm not worried. And like this
Oh.
reminded me so much of Locked in Rush, like the, well, I'm not worried yet.
Well, I'm not worried yet. I will be, but I'm not yet.
Yeah, I don't know if Stockton Rush ever truly worried. Do you I think that like his ego was literally so
No.
big that like he didn't have like the, because you have to have like a little bit of hubris,
He
I think,
literally
to
said
worry.
like no submarine is going down, not with me on it. And like that's like one of the last clips they play or something like that. He also
Yeah.
said accessibility is ownership. Like, what the fuck? He's like, if there's an island and you can't afford it, but you can get to it and you're the only guy who can get to it, that's your island. And it's like, no,
The whole time,
that's like if you have a vacation home in New York, if there's a home in New York and that's someone else's vacation home, but they're not there 9 months of the year, that's your home 9 months of the year. And it's like, that's not like, that's not how the law works. So I think he was kind of a crazy person.
I mean, one thing I love to like imagine is that like there was, I was telling Shelby, I was like, the whole time we were watching it, I was like, I know that there are naval officers that are captains of submarines that have a group chat that are watching this and are texting each other like, can you believe this shit? Like,
Mm-hmm.
submarines aren't new. I'm gonna say it. Submarines, they've been around a while. Okay, we kind of got the science of a good submarine down pat. So like the fact that like because this man was like so above everyone else that he like didn't seek out the resources that do exist to make a safe submersible is crazy to me. Like I just know that there's like a submarine cap. We need them on the pod, okay? If you're a submarine captain and you're listening to this,
And you're
come
out there.
join us, okay? Retired, current, training, I don't care. Because I know a submarine captain watched this shit and was like, there is no way they took this down.
Yeah. I don't know what I was talking about, but I wrote all caps, bro, take off the watch. So I guess he was wearing a really obnoxious watch that he wouldn't take off.
Didn't rush. But yeah, there were tons of whistleblowers. Like, all right, what happened next chronologically? Well, we know what happens.
Oh, do you know one of the they're talking about taking, because there's like 3 or 4 different tests. They introduced this carbon fiber. The carbon fiber is really the issue.
It's
They
the
try
carbon.
to wrap the part of the submarine in this lightweight carbon fiber, because then you could have an entire fleet of subways. Part of the issue with the submarine is that they're so heavy. And so it's not just the submarine, it's the mechanical machine that you need to lift the submarine in the transportation. So not
And
only do you have to have the submarine, sorry, but also you need a crane to lift it on. And so it takes a lot of space and a lot of weight on your cruise. And so the thing Stockton is promising all these businesses is a fleet of submarines, and this carbon is the key to that because it's so lightweight.
if you're,
However,
sorry, you continue.
that was it. I was just gonna say, however,
And
is
if
it a
you're
false
not
promise?
familiar with carbon fiber, because you're not like a big car person, like carbon fiber is like famous for being strong but also light. So like for instance, Formula One cars, which are like really fast and obviously you know what a Formula. Look at your wait, are you frozen, Shelby?
No,
Or are you?
I'm smiling because you said Formula One cars.
I'm obsessed with Formula One. It relates, okay?
I'm like,
Because they
yes,
use.
work it in.
I'm one thing about me is
I
I'm
smiled
working in
so
for.
big it's scared.
you,
Yeah, I had like the smile from.
you smiled so hard it scared me. But like it's
She
so
said,
basically
"What the hell?"
it's carbon reinforced polymers that are all put together, and it's really really strong, but
Wait,
it's
so have you
really
ever heard it pop like we hear it like in cars, like we hear it in actually answer that when you're done answering this.
I actually don't know. I mean, I can't even
Because it's not
like
obviously it's not supposed to.
yeah. Also, carbon fiber is not in like your regular car is not gonna have carbon fiber. Like you're like they're like luxury, really really luxurious cars will have it, like a little bit of it,
That's wild.
but like because it's super super expensive. Anyways, the fact that he was like,
Because they
well,
use a
carbon,
lot of it, like
yeah,
to
yeah,
wrap around the hole.
yeah. He had a lot of faith in that carbon fiber.
Yeah. And it's not like it's not really like it works really well until he gets to like I
Yeah,
can't remember the depths,
it's
but
like a
like
math thing. Like the reason why carbon
yeah,
fiber is so strong is like some like math shit that I can't even get into. I don't because I don't know any. I don't know, but like
these like not for nothing, these people are like really smart. And like that's something everyone says is like that's part of the reason why Stockton Hull was such a jerk is because he was really, really intelligent and he knew it.
and
Some
guess
people even
what?
said the G word. They were like, he was a genius, he was a dick about it, you know.
Then he constructs it with titanium. For titanium, I feel like is probably what the military uses to make theirs, right?
And it's a relatively lightweight metal,
Probably perhaps standard practice.
I
But
would
he
think.
wanted to be an innovator, okay? Also like get into adventurous things can um into it, and I know there's going to be someone listening that's going to be like, well, you know, the US Army actually also uses PlayStation control like because apparently the Navy
That's
apparently the
also standard practice.
yeah, they're like, well, the Navy does use Xbox 360 controllers. It's like, okay, the issue isn't that. The issue is that Stockton Rush isn't a naval officer. I cannot emphasize that enough. Okay, I
Zero
think
training.
I wouldn't mind an Xbox 360 controller in the hand of a naval officer who's trained to do it. We're talking about like some.
At this point in time, he's fired everybody with any military experience.
Mm-hmm.
Has years ago
Yep.
fired his right hand man, fired that
I
guy. Like
can't express how much he's basically winging it. You know.
at this point, he's like, all my eggs are in this basket. Like this has to work. This has to work.
Can we talk about the influencer who gets
Ugh.
I don't know his name, but an influencer.
So there's a test run like before OceanGate to see like to get even deeper. And one thing that OceanGate does to really blur the lines, I wrote this down. I wrote it's all in the waiver. Because one of the things a whistleblower says is like they really can't believe how much it's spelled out in the waiver that like you could totally die and that's sort of all on you. And everybody signs it and everybody goes down there. So they have like a test run to see if it'll go down to like let's just say 32,000 feet.
Also,
And
not to interrupt you again,
no, you're fine.
I feel like we didn't touch about the fact that he like lied about, like he like said what, Boeing, some other
Oh
fancy,
yeah,
he lied and
yeah.
said
All
that
these
like
other
all these
companies are on
companies,
board.
he was like these Boeing, he like name dropped all these big companies, and like after the fact, Boeing for one was like, no, what, like no,
We're literally have not
they're
like
like
partners. Like
we're not really in the business of
we're like maybe he
touristy.
bought our materials. Like
They're like, we're not really in the business of submersibles for tourism. It's not really our thing. We're kind of good with what we got.
we
And
do like planes.
honestly, we have our own problems. So like,
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard about us, but like
they're
we're a
like,
little
we don't have.
busy.
We're a little booked right now. I'm
We're
not gonna
just
lie.
we're kind of we're in court this week.
They're like, we were too busy. There's no way we were involved in this.
We haven't really had time to make any new deals. No new
Yeah, so
deals.
like basically like all the laboratories that he claimed had been integral to building this were like, no, we weren't. Like, no, we weren't.
We don't have any permission to make new
Yeah,
stuff.
so he was like, no, this was a bootleg submersible. Okay, this is a
Like you see
DA.
them wrapping the coils around it, and the guy's like, "There's spaces, you can't be doing that." Like he says, like the whistleblower says, like I was arguing with the head of engineering like every single day. And
Yep.
honestly, the ironic part is these two men are like so passionate like about the project. They love it. They want this to work. They're like arguing with each other, like butting heads. And at the end of everything, Stockton, like sorry to spoil it, like fires them both. Like that's what they both
Oh,
get.
all the whistleblowers he lets go, and
And like one of them Like
quit.
they don't whistle blow at the same time. Like one whistle blows
Yeah.
years later. The
And
other
the main girl, one of
does.
them quit before. And
Mhm.
like she talks about how like when it happened, she's like, yeah, this is why I quit, because like I knew this was gonna happen. Like this is why I like had to quit. Like I couldn't do this anymore. I knew that like it was
It was
janky.
coming. Yeah. I saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Good for her.
But imagine the guilt like she has to carry for the rest of her life. Like that's crazy.
Oh my god. I can't even. It's like
But anyways, um it wasn't up, let's just say it was not up to like the standards it should have been at, obviously.
um I also want to say that OceanGate merch is beyond tacky. Every time you see Stockton, he's wearing like a button up that says OceanGate on it. Like clearly all of his stuff is like sent out. Like this man has so much money. They also tell you about his background. He's from generational wealth. Like he and his wife both have had their ancestors ancestral line lineage traced back to two different sides of two people or two of the two founders of two signers of the Declaration of Independence. Do you remember this?
No, but it sounds about white. Like, 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 checks out. Like, okay.
Don't you remember this? They were like, that's how, just like basically they were just illustrating that they were like,
The
he married
nepotism.
he married a woman of great privilege and he too came from a very privileged background.
Always blame Nepo babies.
100%.
If something goes
100%.
wrong, I bet you if you dig deep, there's a
Right.
Nepo baby at the bottom.
So if anyone's like, oh my God, how did he get all this money to like fuck around with a submarine all day? Like he and his wife had money coming out of their buttholes for life.
Like, yeah.
No problem. And so the Ocean Gate merge completely unnecessary. So one of the things that they did once they got on the submarine and everyone signed the waiver is they were like, we don't have any passengers. Like you can't sue us. You're not a passenger. You're a crew member. You're a mission specialist. You're a co-pilot. You're this and you're that. And so, when you think about that, for all the people who survived, like that's really cool. When you think about that, for all the people who died, it's like, so you taught these people how to like read the boat and like you made sure they knew that they were gonna die and then let them die. You were like, so it looks like this when you're gonna die.
We have to get into the cracks of it all because the
Yeah, yeah,
literal
yeah, yeah,
this is when like the cracking of it all was when I was watching the documentary that like it really hit me. I was like that was the moment when I was like, oh my god, like oh my god, like they were like he had people down in the ocean in a submarine that was literally cracking.
They told people they called it bolting people in. Like honestly, during the test when they were like, what's that popping sound?
One thing about me is when I saw that woman come in to bolt me in and she drops one of the bolts and is like, no problem, I would have been like, I gotta go.
I know, she drops the bolt.
She drops a bolt and she's like, no big deal. I would have been like, like
I would like, wait.
Like it's like a flight attendant closing the plane door and like missing a bit, something falls off, and she's like, sorry, it's fine.
Wait.
I'm sure this won't affect pressurization at all.
I would have been like, wait. I don't actually think we should do this. That's your sign. Like that's your
And they call the cracking, the straight up cracking, an acoustic event because it's so loud that like I think the Coast Guard hears it. Like this shit is cracking so loud that it is like bouncing off the ocean. Like it is that fucked up. Like
it's like
just,
they're like
so crazy.
You can't hear anything
else. And so you find out that what's cracking is the carbon fiber is literally like cracking apart. So this carbon fiber that he put in that he thought it was so strong, he's gonna keep it submersible. It was literally delaminating, just like cracked. And so after that happened, that is when like all of this was negligent. But like him continuing to do it after that acoustic cracking event was like one of the most negligent things like we have ever witnessed together as a society watching this. Like the negligence was crazy. He knew it was cracking. He heard it cracking. Everyone was like, you are taking something that is cracking down to the bottom of the ocean. You cannot do this. And so despite that, he still continued to use this as dice. Also, like, I think one of my favorite things is like, I think a lot of like the experts were like, you know what? Maybe commercial deep sea diving in submarines shouldn't be a thing.
Maybe people don't need this. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie, and I know a lot of people go to Antarctica and it's like a touristy thing now. Sometimes I see people in Antarctica and I'm like, are we sure that we should be there? Like, are we sure we need cruises of people in Antarctica right now? Like
That's
the
how I feel
people
when I see people on like African safaris, like maybe getting mauled by lions. I'm like,
I don't, yeah,
you're on the prairie.
I was watching there's this video of this like penguin literally waiting in line behind two people who are like, I think it's in Antarctica, taking a picture, and he's like waiting his turn behind them. I was like, what are you doing in
Like,
Antarctica
why are you following around a
why are you
penguin,
holding this
man?
man up? Why are you holding this penguin up in his own home?
He's got things to do.
People to see.
He's on his way.
He's got songs to
He's
sing.
got fish
He
to
has
catch.
he has tap dancing to do, as
He's
they
probably
do.
got a fucking family,
You know? Yeah.
Like, it's just like we gotta stay in our lane.
I think that humans really need to think hard about where putting ourselves in places we're not supposed to be. And like those people who got stuck up in space for like 6 months, was it?
God, that's so funny. It's like,
it's not funny, and thank God they're alive, but like that is like humans got to stop. One thing
like,
about
you know what? Like, what were you guys doing up
we
there?
got to stop getting stuck places.
You ran out of all the stuff to do on Earth? Really?
I just like what are we doing in places that aren't compatible for human life, and why? Why are we so perhaps this is a great exercise in us being too exploratory. And
Like,
that's
have you
another
tried
thing.
cotton candy ice cream
That's
before you went into space?
That's the another thing I
Probably
said to
not.
Shelby. I was like, you know what, Shelby? Sometimes I thank God that I do not have an adventurous bone in this body. Not
That's so
one of
funny.
my bones. Of all the bones I have, not one. Not a pinky toe. I don't have a single
toe.
do not have a single adventurous bone in this body.
And also does not cave to peer pressure. I know, I've tried.
And you know what? Thank you, Shelby. I'm so honored. Aw, thanks.
I've tried. I'm like, no, let's do. And you're like, no.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. No,
One
it's
thing
cool.
about me is I will ruin the mood because I don't want to do something.
Amazing. But it's like, I love that.
But so yeah, I would just there's so many situations that like I just wouldn't be in. Like our friend likes to watch like cave diving videos, and I see those people do that, and I'm like, there's just
Ain't
no way I would be in that situation. There's just no way. You couldn't pay me to go swimming down a little hole in hopes of like seeing stuff. I don't even know what the end goal is. Like there's so much that I would never do, and like cave diving, going to space. I say this like I have the opportunity.
No, and you will one day.
I mean, if Katy Perry can do it, like who's to say I can't?
All you have to do is start a one-sided James Cameron beef on camera, like that.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the James Cameron beef because if you guys don't know,
one-sided James Cameron beef.
Because James Cameron, if you didn't know, is a prolific. Like this is kind of his thing. He's like a big submersible guy and like goes and looks around. He loves
like nature. He's in like a lot of. I feel like if anybody watches like Disney Nature or listens,
he spends all the money he's made on going down under.
100%. Like if you look at who the narrator is, it's often like James Cameron, and he's involved in the production.
He love it down there.
100%.
He love it down there. So yeah,
like he comes out of the submersible and he's like, I think that beats James Cameron's record. It's like, James Cameron doesn't know who you. I mean, he knows who you are now.
It's like the 50 Cent thing. He's like, "What'd you say? Fuck me for?"
Like he probably found out who you were.
James Cameron
when you blew up that submersible.
No, James Cameron probably found out when he watched this documentary. He's like, I had no clue.
He probably. It's like I read a tweet that was like, imagine being Taylor Swift watching Ginny and Georgia thinking like this shit's so good, and then you see like that joke in season 2 where it's like she goes through guys like more than Taylor Swift, and it's like
Imagine
You know what I
watching.
mean?
Imagine trying to like enjoy like a piece of popular culture.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And so then they make a joke about you. It
you're
probably feels like being slapped in your own
she's
home
probably
was
like,
the
"Damn, I
tweet.
literally can't have shit. Like,
Exactly.
I
Like,
can't do it." She's like, "I can't go anywhere. I can't watch
and she
anything."
was seated before that. Like,
God, that's kind of heartbreaking.
I know.
But yeah, no, James Cameron was probably like, me.
You probably was like,
He's like, me, the filmmaker and hobbyist.
what? Like,
Like,
what the fuck?
I know. He's like, damn. Anyways, yeah. I was gonna briefly get him confused with George Lucas. I was like, did he do Avatar and Star Wars? Like an
Oh, that's
idiot, but
so
I know
funny.
better. Don't worry.
You were like, wow, is he the most prolific filmmaker of all time? And then you were like, no, actually.
Yeah. And so he keeps booking it. Okay. It makes me think
Mhm.
of like the sad horses. If you've ever been to the Bahamas, the
Oh
most
my
like
God.
the most depressing, nothing depresses me more than seeing the poor, sad horses that have to drag the carts
Oh, I hate
that
that.
like
I
are
hate it in New
underfed,
York. I hate it. Oh my
that
God,
are
dude.
underfed, and they have to pull these carriages of like all these tourists, forcing them to work, and you just know one day they're gonna collapse in the heat of like
And they're gonna have no
of
empathy
the
for them.
strain. So I will say the submarine was basically like these horses. Maybe
Yeah.
that's a bad analogy.
No, it was. It was like basically duct taped together. Like after its last like mission, it was like, all right, let's
After
tape her up and
after
send
the
her back down there. They
after
found a crack.
I was about to say after Crackgate,
After Crackgate,
after the cracking,
say crack again.
the fact that he continued to go down
Crack.
is wild. It's sort of like being a scuba diver and knowing that there might be a hole in one of your tanks and being like, I'm gonna go down anyways.
So this
Or
is
like having, you know what, or like driving a car and you know you have like a tire with a hole in it, but you've patched it. And you're like, I'm gonna speed anyways, even though I
be
know that,
fine.
even though I'm pretty sure this tire is gonna blow out inevitably, I'm gonna
Sure,
still
not
speed.
my
I'm
tire.
still gonna speed in my with my patched tire. Like that was type beat he was on.
So this is from the whistleblower hammer scene. This is perhaps my favorite part of the entire documentary. Um, she didn't go down with the first crew, but it was after they came back up and the engineer found the crack. And this is when they were putting the
Sorry,
screenshots.
Crackgate.
Put the crack, say crack again,
The crack of it all.
And they put the screenshots up on the screen, and Hammerstein is texting clearly like someone else who works there. And they're like, oh my God, like, how bad is it? And she goes, it's completely gooshed.
Did she lie?
Gooshed? No, but like Gooshed. Like, that's so. You're talking about the submarine that's gonna like blow people up. It's gooshed, LMAO. Like,
Talking about something that people are going to put their lives in. Okay?
and she said it's completely goosed, LMAO. And I'm like, God, it's an iconic message. That's so fucking funny.
Oh God.
Oh, it's so funny.
So
Gooshed.
so avoidable. The fact that like so many people knew.
Like,
And we're
I'm
like,
saying, everyone tells him, like, Stockton, you can't do this. And he goes, you're fired. So I wrote down, y'all, these men need to try reverse psychology on Stockton, like, time after time after time. They're like, Stockton, please don't, for the good of everyone. And he's like, you're fired.
you're right. Instead, they should have been like, yeah, you should go down there.
They
Or
should,
they
like,
should have
you're
made
right.
it. They should
You're
have
the only one.
They should have downplayed it. They should have been like, yeah, it's no big deal. You're doing this. Like, who
No,
cares?
exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
they should have
Not
like,
one person.
They should have been like, yeah, who cares? Like, oh, cool. Oh, you're going down to see the Titanic. You think that's so cool? Good for
You know
you.
what would really impress James Cameron?
Yeah, like what? The Titanic,
If you
boring.
live.
Why don't you go find a different shipwreck? That not. Oh, you're going down to the Titanic. You think that's special? Everyone knows where the Titanic is. Why don't you get more adventurous and go find something? You know, that's what they should have done. They should have
He
gaslit
should have
that.
been like, oh my God, the Titanic is James Cameron's thing. You should find your own thing. And like, that would like really get his attention.
And
You know
maybe
what I
you
mean?
should find something that is Maybe you should find your own thing that's maybe a little less down there. Like you said,
Too much.
has art. Dave Cameron.
Dave Cameron's got it covered.
Yeah, you should have been like, yeah, like
Rafe Cameron.
you should. You should have been like,
Rafe has it covered.
someone should have told that man, like, maybe you should go like look at a coral reef or somewhere that's like maybe
you should like get
how
scuba certified.
how many miles down? I have to see it. How many miles down is the Titanic? Let me look it up.
7.
That is crazy.
Did I get it?
I don't know. It's no. No, Shelby, you like weren't even close. Like, and the fact that I was like, yeah, that sounds right. No, not even close. It's 2.4 miles down. Someone should have been like, why don't you go find a shipwreck that's only a mile down?
It's only 2.4 miles down.
Only? What do you mean only one whole mile and then another whole mile?
That's 72 laps. I've swum 72 laps before at the pool.
We all have.
Okay, we all have.
You're right. I don't know if I ever did that. How many did I used to call it a day at, Shelby?
Like 12. Sometimes 14. And I would be like, let's do more. And you'd be like, no.
I'm cold.
I want to go.
No, Shelby, I want to go immediately eat the calories I just burned right now. Now.
Okay, but I did too. And I would be like, well, we can, but like, I think you'll feel better if we like do more. And you'd be like, no.
Someday we'll drop the swim cap photos for everyone.
Oh,
God.
We'll be like, hey, if anybody wants us to do a cameo with our swim cap photos.
Anyways, 2 miles down, 2.5 miles down. So someone should have been like, maybe with the tools that you've got, we should go somewhere half a mile down.
Right.
Like you should be like, I think you could still sell it. I think people would be interested in going a half a mile down.
People might be like, yeah.
And you could definitely, I'm sure there's a shipwreck off the coast of Florida that is less than a mile down there that you could 100%. Go see and people would pay to see. Maybe that's what you should do with the submersible. And he was like, no.
He was like, ew, half a mile?
No, I'm gonna take this cracking ass submarine 2.4 miles down.
He said no one's gonna die on my watch.
I think
and then
what's also
probably
crazy,
died first.
What's also crazy, and like I think shows that he was in pure delusion about it, is that he himself was in it.
Yeah. Oh like, yeah. The fact that like, yeah, I mean he died. He went down with the ship 100%.
Yeah, we can't say he wasn't a captain. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Like I'm sure he did do his best to save everybody because like he died too. You know.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah. Then they go.
Yeah, it's like I think as a nation we'll probably never get over it. I personally will never get over it. We didn't even realize the 2-year anniversary was recent until also, we saw like, some article.
Just the amount of news coverage it got, which like it's fine. It was crazy because like everyone was like, wait a minute, there's a submersible that
there was like a countdown. They were like air they had. Like
they're like, I don't want to alarm anyone, but like the Coast Guard, like they
officially have 48 hours left of air.
And they're like, oh, and by the way, like we lost contact with it hours ago. Like we're not hearing.
We have no clue where they were. And they were like, found in like Newfoundland, right?
They're like, we're not hearing anything. Like
they were found like nowhere near where we expected them
for
to
a
be.
notably loud submarine, as we know.
Yeah.
Dead silence. So.
God, who was it? You who said this? Somebody was like, we know if a shark farts. Like we have such good.
It wasn't me, but it is true. We have
such excellent sonogram.
If you're on the radar, if everything's operating, same with the skies. That's why people freak out when like planes go dark, because like we know where planes are and we know where like boats are. Like that is for some reason it's like a special interest for this country. But like we know where things are. So like the fact that like they lost it, I think that's when they were like
what the fuck? Like why can't we hear them?
Not good.
Right.
Not good. Because even like things like when they like fail like in their systems, like they'll still like feel like the tracking system is like designed to be the last thing to go.
Right. It's like there's supposed to be a little black box that's like, okay, shit. Like we can at least still find that.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have all this technology. and we couldn't even locate that. You know what I mean? It's like that's not really good. Even that, like the shot, it's like a relatively decent sized hunk of metal. We have all this technology. We have all these different entities and forces out there scouring the ocean looking for this like block of metal, and we couldn't find it. And
Forgot about the loud bang of it all. So I'm reading the Wikipedia page, and it says before the final ping, they're like, people heard,
who?
wait, hold on. Before this final, so the last ping, but before this text was received, a loud bang was heard by people monitoring the submersible on the
Oh
support ship.
no.
Yeah. And
Did
then
they
like
think
they
that was
they
it
later
like
found out
exploding?
they later find out that like that was an imploding. Yeah. So like imagine being the people on the ship and having to like be the support ship. You heard a loud bang and now it goes dark, can't find anything, and like just know that they're like looking for something that like
You're like, that probably wasn't.
they were probably like, I don't know how. Oh, the main whistleblower girl, it like texts her friend and is like, they're never gonna find it. Like they're not gonna find them in time.
She was like, I feel sick to my stomach. Like, do you see all the jokes?
Yeah, she's like, there's no way. There's no
Yeah.
way.
She was like, I literally have no, because it's like her talking to someone else who used to work there, and they're like, you don't work there anymore, right? Do you? And it's like, no, I
And I
don't.
just know, rest in peace, Stockton. Afterwards, afterwards, James Cameron issued a statement about like what he thought happened. God, if Stockton Rush was alive to hear that, can you imagine your one-sided beef? Like, your one-sided beef at the end of it, the guy who you have
I think he's a
unbelievable.
loser.
it's like yeah, this is what went wrong. Okay.
That's so funny, dude.
God.
Yeah, I think this is probably how that person fucked up, but it's like, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
This is how my hero thinks I suck.
Yeah.
That's always good to know.
So yeah, they really went looking for days, and like they were looking for nothing. Like that bang. I feel like that bang they should have been like
Damn. Well, no,
yeah.
I mean, people, I feel like the loved ones would have.
I also
not.
feel yeah. And I also do think that I'm sure there's like maritime law that you like have to look for people for a certain amount of time.
For certain rich people.
Yeah. They're like, God, if it was a regular dude,
Can't you see these people are rich?
They're like, if it was a regular dude, we'd be fine.
Exactly.
But the fact they're like, we got a couple billionaires down there. I need the Coast Guard, the Navy.
Exactly.
Is the Coast Guard a branch of the Navy? I don't know.
Have you seen Pink
I feel
Panther?
like is the Coast Guard a branch of the Navy?
Let me look.
I'm sure there's a naval officer listening that's like, God, these girls don't know a single thing.
No respect for the nation.
No, you know what? By this point, anyone with like any actual knowledge about like submersible submarines and like naval goings on has tuned out. They're not listening
the
anymore.
U.S. Coast Guard is not a branch of the U.S.
That's
Navy, but it can be transferred to the Navy during times of war or when directed by the president. In peacetime, the Coast Guard operates under the Department of Homeland Security.
Checks out. I remember this kid in high school was like, I'm going to be a Marine. I was like, oh, cool. You're joining the Navy. He was like, no, like a Marine. I was like, sure. Yeah. Like
duh.
I was like, they're called the Marines, bro. Marines. Marina, Maritime, Marine. They were like, oh, no. Anyways,
like,
I hope he's well. Okay. I'm sure he learned once he got there.
Yeah, no. He was like, what? That's not as fun as they made it look on the commercials.
Yeah. Imagine like being the people who had to go looking for them. I'm sure that was like so stressful. I always think about the people who are like the people in the little scuba diving outfits that like go searching for bodies, and like it's their job to like go into lakes and stuff and like look.
God. You know, I told Sam and she doesn't want me to say this, but I was disappointed. I really wanted the documentary to follow like the families of the people who were on.
The only one you hear about is Paul Henry's family at the end, right? Because she's like,
right.
Yeah, no one reached out to say anything to us. Like no apology.
Oh no, the French woman, they asked, I don't know why they asked her this, but they were like, the Frenchman's wife, and I say this because she speaks entirely in French and it's translated for us. And they asked her like, who notified you? And she was like, the United States government. Like that's like the only thing they asked her. Um, just that her husband had passed away. But I wanted to see like that woman whose son and husband had passed away on
Just like, do you think it? Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to
just
interrupt.
like oh no, just like that seems like horrific. I doubt she's talking to the media.
I
Um,
I just think that it's like so disingenuous that like because we know that the reason why they were searching is because they heard an implosion event happening, like happen. They knew an implosion
they were
happened and they
like
were
fuck,
looking
fuck,
for
fuck.
it. The fact that they like were still like it was so disingenuous that people were like
They didn't
counting
tell
down
us.
when their oxygen was going to go down. Like so
They should have said like they're probably gone.
like the
However,
fact that they had like people watching their oxygen deplete for days is crazy. Like it was they were following it like sport.
so stressful unnecessarily. Like
I think that's crazy. Like I'd be so offended if I was like a family member and like we're pretty sure that like your family's dead and they're like tracking it on CNN with like 5 hours left till they're all like you're
it
counting
was
down.
very
You are
dystopian.
counting down to someone's death. That is crazy. Like so dystopian.
Very. It was probably, I hope, knock on wood, the closest we get to like the Hunger Games, where it's like we're like watching these people die and like there's nothing we can do. It's like honestly, I felt very powerless, which isn't like a word I associate with being like an
Billionaires
American.
dying.
Yeah,
No,
with
no.
like with you know the 1% dying with being an American citizen. Like that's whatever side of the aisle you're on.
Yeah.
You're like I have
And
autonomy, I have power, I can do something,
I
and
will
it's
say,
like
like, I think the
we can't
documentary,
save them. We have all these resources
yeah,
and power, and
the
no
document,
one.
the documentary takes on such a like serious tone
It
that like
does.
obviously was deliberate, but like I
We feel
think
bad for the subway jokes.
like I feel like they like because I feel like when you do a documentary on something like this, like like it got has to be so like morally like
If
I
you're
don't
gonna ask
know.
the family members to appear,
Yeah, they're like
you need
how
to
do
take this shit seriously.
yeah, it's like how do we inform without like sensationalizing like an incredible like a huge tragedy.
Right.
So
You
but
can't be
they
like, you
did a
want to
great
hear a joke?
they did a great job. Like there's no humor in it. Like
Right.
they're like that
But the
crack
visual aids are good.
they were like the cracking and the creaking that they hear is all the fucking like absolute absurdity that they need in this. Because
And
like
there's a lot of footage. Oh, sorry.
if you're not paying attention before, the second you hear like I was like laying on the couch watching it, the second I heard the creaks, I sat up. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, what do you
That
mean?
sounds bad.
You don't have to be a naval officer or like probably a 7-year-old could have been like, I don't necessarily want to go down in this.
I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, I don't want to get into anything I have to be bolted into.
Right.
That like that's
I
just
want out.
I don't want to be bolted into any. I guess when you go on a plane, you're like you are kind of bolted up in there, but you're not like
I guess, but you don't
it's
think
a
about
door. It's a door. You don't think about it.
it. Exactly.
I will say that like air travel is pretty tried and true as opposed to commercial submarines. And I think a lot of people learned that like maybe this shouldn't be a thing. Definitely destroyed whatever submersible,
Oh, I
whatever
know.
market there was for submersible travel.
It's gone now.
It's gone now. People are like,
Mhm.
I'm good. I'm so good on that. Like anyone who was thinking
You know
about
what?
it,
I'll look at pictures.
yeah, anyone who was thinking about it before is no longer interested.
It's fine.
Maybe in like a decade.
It's cool.
I'd do it if the military took me down there.
Nope, not even then. Especially not then.
Turns out they don't do tours.
Damn.
What do you mean I can't like go look around?
What do you mean I can't just like visit? Damn it.
I just wish I could. I wish I knew a submarine captain because I just know they were probably watching
Hey,
that.
if you don't know one, you can be one. Oh, actually, hey, they'll write in the
There's
comment
no
section.
way I'm passing the.
We'll just call the local radio. They'll play our podcast.
Someone has to know.
In.
Someone has to know someone, or someone has to know someone that was like in the Navy enough to like work in intelligence with submarines. Because I imagine like every submarine has 100 people on land helping it.
Ooh, okay,
right?
math.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know how submarines work. I don't know. This, if anything, if this showed me anything, it's like I really took submarines for granted. I really like didn't realize how.
Well,
like,
they're just like not part of our lives,
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that like
They
I think I can
goofed.
pretty confidently say we're like kind of better at going to space than we are going down
Yeah.
under.
It's like I think we should just stop. I think we should just stay in our lanes.
Those
Dry
anglerfish.
lands.
If there's anything of concern happening down there, as we learned with the Anglerfish Gate, an anglerfish will
Gate.
an anglerfish gate, yeah, an anglerfish will come up and tell us. Okay,
No, 100%.
you know,
100%.
if something crazy's going going on down there, they'll send someone up.
If there's something we need to know, they're gonna let us know.
I have full confidence in whatever's going on down there. Something that they
have
really
a whistleblower.
I'm sure if they really need us down there, they'll send someone up. Okay.
Exactly.
We don't need to be
exactly.
we don't need
We've
to be dabbling
established
in
a
it.
chain of command.
It's important to stay in your lane, and we were meant for land.
100%.
And I think obviously
That's why
the surface.
we lost our
We could keep it
gills.
on the surface, and maybe
Right.
we should start limiting how far down we go.
I think so too. I think that's when we start crackling.
Maybe like after a mile down, you don't leave that to like military.
Half a mile. Half a mile.
We don't need
quarter mile. Quarter mile.
We don't need tourists down there. You know.
No.
Also, like,
It's not
isn't it?
for us.
Did they ever address like, isn't it dark down there?
Oh, super dark. They have a light on the submarine though. Not that it works, but
probably a tap on light.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing them, it was a tap on light.
It's like
they're like, shit, you have to go outside to turn this shit on.
Like shit, they can't hear us clapping. Damn.
What a mess. Rest in peace to all those souls.
So we're still not over it.
I'm still not over it.
They're probably still not over it.
I know Stockton's rolling in his grave because he's like,
I know James Cameron is probably over it.
Or as I call him, Dave Cameron. That's my bad.
That's so funny, dude.
So yeah, I'm still not over it. I won't be over this for like a decade. It was so crazy.
No, it's like I hope this never happens again. I hope this is like a big enough deal that like,
well, you know, humans and learning their lesson. I'm sure
it's like this is such a big enough deal that like probably we'll never get over it. Like
I don't know. I'm sure in like 5 years, some other guy's gonna come around and be like, I know it didn't work out for them, but I'm different.